Vinicius Junior, undoubtedly one of the best, if not the best winger in world football right now, known for his explosive pace, agility and ability to take on any defence, with his flair and close control of the ball, as well as his dribbling skills. At just 22 years of age, the Brazilian has already won the league twice with Real Madrid, as well as the Copa del Rey, the Champions League and the Club World Cup. But things weren't always like this for Vinicius, as he came from humble beginnings in one of the poorest parts of Brazil, as well as being considered a flop when he first arrived in Madrid for such a big fee, as well as being accused of playing against his own team by Real Madrid striker and Ballon d'Or winner Karim Benzema. So let's take a look at how Vinicius got here, and the rise of this incredible player, and how he went from being a flop to the best winger in Europe. This is the astonishing rise of Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior was born in São Gonçalo in Rio de Janeiro, which is considered one of the most deprived places in Brazil, coming from humble beginnings, hailing from a poor background. And like most kids in Brazil, Vinicius picked up football from a very early age, as he began playing futsal from the age of 7. For those who don't know what futsal is, it's basically just inside football. And whilst playing futsal, he and his family realised he was a special talent who had the potential to go on and become a professional footballer one day. However, at the age of 9, Vinicius decided that he'd rather play football than futsal, and at the age of just 10 years old, Vinicius joined Flamengo after passing his trial and joining what is considered to be the biggest club in Brazil. Vinicius excelled during his time at Flamengo, where he showed flashes of his potential with his pace, flair and dribbling technique, which made him stand out from the crowd and allowed him to rise quickly through the youth ranks. And at the age of just 16, things began to take off for the Brazilian winger, when he played in the 2017 Copa Sao Paulo tournament, where he played against players who were 3 years older than him. But that didn't faze Vinicius at all, as he was recognised as one of the best players in that tournament, entertaining spectators with his skills and his goal-scoring ability. And it didn't stop there for the youngster, as he was the top scorer in the South American Under-17 Football Championship after being called up to Brazil's Under-17 side, and also one player of the tournament. At this point, Vinicius Junior is flying for Flamengo, no pun intended, and even made his first team debut coming on in the 83rd minute. And a few days later, Vinicius signed a contract which increased his buyout clause from €30 million to €45 million. And after attracting interest from all across Europe, Real Madrid would be the ones to pay his expensive €45 million fee. However, he couldn't join until he was 18, and he was just 17 at the time, as 18 years old is the minimum wage for an international transfer to occur. Vinicius stayed at Flamengo then until he turned 18, where he continued to play well, and in July 2018, Vinicius finally made his move to the European Giants and was unveiled as Real Madrid's new winger. And like most new youth signings, many expected Vinny to be eased into the team and integrated slowly. However, this didn't happen at all, as Vinicius was thrown straight into the deep end, was immediately a main player for Real Madrid, in the hopes he could aid Real Madrid during a lacklustre season for Los Blancos, in which Real Madrid had a vacant left wing spot after the departure of one of their greatest players, Cristiano Ronaldo. And considering he was immediately thrown into left wing, Vinicius actually did okay there, and was considered a hazardous opponent for teams due to his speed and ability to get past defenders in quick succession. Managers even tweaked their tactics and got players to double up on him just to deal with him. However, Vinicius had a problem. A big problem. Despite all his talents on the ball and his Neymar-like skills, he couldn't finish to save his life and missed key opportunities again and again and again, getting only 7 goals in 36 games in his first full season, which led to him being criticised even by his own fans, who were left frustrated at Real Madrid and Vinicius' lacklustre season. He even got to the point where he broke down in tears after scoring his first goal in the 1920 season. But that's not even the worst part about it. Vinicius became a laughingstock all over social media after his Real Madrid teammate Karim Benzema was caught saying to teammate Ferland Mendy, "Brother, don't play to him. On my mother's life he is playing against us," whilst being 2-0 down at half-time to Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Champions League. To be honest, you got to feel sorry for him at this point, because he was playing under huge amounts of pressure. I mean, just imagine leaving your home country at 18 years old to become the main left winger for the biggest club in the world in an attempt to replace one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time. Not only that, he was the second most expensive player in Brazilian history after Neymar Junior. So of course pressure is going to be high and expectations are going to be through the roof. However, Vinicius didn't let this knock his confidence, and fair play to him. And after a new manager and a new system was in place, it seemed as if Vinny just turned things around and started putting in the work. As in the 21-22 season, he had his best season ever, and Vinicius hit back at the haters who doubted him and proved his worth, and started his season scoring the 4th goal in Real Madrid's 4-1 win against Alaves, and scored a brace coming off the bench against Levante, which rightly earned him his first team spot over a struggling Eden Hazard, and continued his hot form after scoring another brace against Elche. And at that point, Vinicius had already surpassed his overall goal tally from last season in just 14 games. Big improvement for sure. He also scored his first hat-trick that season against Levante and won his second league title with Real Madrid that season, whilst being a key contributor towards it, unlike other seasons. Not only that as well, Vinicius also excelled in the Champions League and had some massive performances for Real Madrid against the likes of real top teams PSG, Chelsea and Manchester City, as well as winning Real Madrid their 14th Champions League after scoring the only goal in the the Champions League final against Liverpool. And at the end of that season, Vinicius got 22 goals and 20 assists in 52 games, a major goal scoring improvement from all his previous Madrid season. Vinicius hasn't just been doing it at club level as well. In 2019, he was called up to the Brazil national team for the first time for friendlies against Panama and the Czech Republic. And in March 2022, Vinicius scored his debut goal for the national team in a 4-0 win over Chile. And his club performances, as well as performances for country, rightly earned him his call up to the 2022 FIFA World Cup and scored his first World Cup goal in a 4-1 win against South Korea, getting 2 crucial assists. And despite a disappointing World Cup for Brazil being knocked out by Croatia, Vinicius Junior can hold his head high as he still played well for his country. And in February this year, Vinicius has popped off again, scoring a brace against Al Hilal in the Club World Cup final, which saw him win the trophy for the second time in his career so far. He was also awarded the tournament's best player. Not only that, he also played a key role in Madrid's win against Liverpool in the round of 16 in the Champions League this season, where he scored a first half brace and has already scored one of the goals of the season so far in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final against Manchester City in a 1-1 draw, with the second leg still to be played at the time of me recording this. Like many other footballers, Vinicius Junior is just a key example of how hard work, dedication and self-belief can pay off in the long run, as he has gone from being a complete flop, too much money being spent on him, and even being criticised by his own Ballon d'Or winning teammate for his poor form, to end up being a world-class winger, winning multiple prestigious trophies already at such a young age, all whilst being one of the most exciting and entertaining talents in football. And in my opinion, he definitely has Ballon d'Or winning potential, and if he keeps up his performances and his form, who knows where this guy could end up one day. Maybe he could even go down with some of the greats like Ronaldinho and Neymar. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that one. Well, I guess in retrospect, the 45 million euros Madrid paid for him seems like a bargain now, but this isn't the case all the time for footballers in this crazy industry, which is why you should check out this video about 10 of the worst contracts in football history. Make sure you like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this one, with notifications on as well so you don't miss any videos like these. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Discussing Ball.